I've been thinking about the state of Star Wars and how did we actually get to the place that we are currently in. And looking back, it all started with George Lucas handing it off to Kathleen Kennedy, and that's where basically what all of this started with her having an agenda, basically lying to everyone when she did that interview when George handed it off to Disney or sold it to Disney and handed it off to Kathleen Kennedy, and saying they would respect and honor George Lucas's vision and what he did. That was a complete lie. With The Force Awakens, you instead of building on what happened before, you basically just push a soft reboot where you just introduce characters nobody cares about except for the fringe people who want a Mary Sue, a janitor who is black and is kind of a stormtrooper, and a whimsical pilot that's supposed to be awesome. And in the Force Awakens, it was a carbon copy of Episode 4, and the J.J. Abrams used the template what was created before to create a Mary Sue in The Force Awakens, where Rey has no flaws. You had Kylo, who is a more whiny version of even the prequel Anakin, and you also have Snoke. You just introduce something. I'm gonna go on to that later. You have the tease of Luke Skywalker being introduced, which they go nowhere with. You have Han Solo just dying off like that, instead of having the reunion everyone was hoping for. That didn't happen, and Leia was a shadow over herself. The story in itself just they had to explain something extra in the books, in the novelization of the movie, to just explain things they didn't in the movie. What was the big deal with the Republic being blown up? Why didn't move it? What happened? Whereas all the armies or the troops from the New Republic, and how I mean, it doesn't even make narratively sense where the order came from, and how they had a planet and such a military force that no one noticed. They just came out of nowhere, it seems. And Luke Skywalker, in all of the 30 years since Episode 6, he just didn't do anything about it. And just a small resistance base. It's just basically copying the rebels of Episode 4. And then a year later, we have Rogue One, which I actually like. The only thing that Disney Star Wars has produced that I actually like. From what I consider canon, I know maybe a little bit childish, or whatever you want to call it. But I say episode 1 to 6 and Rogue One are what I consider canon. Everything else so far has been garbage, and I'm not just gonna ignore it. And with Rogue One, I think they did an excellent job, even though I clearly saw the diversity angle that Kathleen Kennedy was doing in that movie. And then a year later, you have the disaster that is The Last Jedi, which completely alienated me. Not only me, my brother, my friend who I went to cinema with. I don't know anyone who really like that movie, and I refuse to watch episode 9 because of this. I'm not gonna pay to watch that movie. The insults that Ryan Johnson gives the audience, the fans of the franchise, basically, Kylo Ren, he looks at the camera and let the past die. Yet every time they go to the well with Star Wars, they use nostalgia. With Rogue One, they use the original trilogy as nostalgia. Then with Han Solo, they use Han Solo as a nostalgia, and wanted to get people to watch that movie. But I'm gonna go into that movie as well. So it's very hypocritical for them to say let the past die, basically looking into the camera. And the movie also makes little sense, where you have the Canto Bight is a garbage scene where clear SJW influence from Kathleen Kennedy or Ryan Johnson. I don't know who wrote that crap. Oh, it was worth it to release the animals, but screw the child slaves that are on that planet, which they just gave that resistance ring to. And let's just kill off Luke Skywalker, or Jake Skywalker, which he should rather be named as. When they completely butchered his character. They make Kylo Ren look even weaker because, again, he lost against Rey, and Rey is just unstoppable. She can lift rocks that even in after 2 movies, Luke Skywalker had an issue with, and he was the son of Anakin Skywalker, the balance of the Force, so to speak, the chosen one. And Rey can just do it like that without any training. I might add. The only what Luke Skywalker or Jake Skywalker taught her was barely any training, and she was tempted by the dark side, but it was just an inconvenience for her in that movie. And how can she swim when she grew up in a desert planet? That's also something to think about. And then we got Han Solo, and that was just an average movie where all they did was basically use the few lines Han told about his past and made a movie about it. That's it. And made Lando Pando Calrissian a pansexual who likes to have sex with robots, and we have robots who have periods, and the Millennium Falcon is basically that social justice droid lives matter droid that in that ship. So they screw with the lore and the characters. We have Resistance, which I refuse to watch. Rebels is the only thing that has been good, but that's because of Dave Filoni, not because of Kathleen Kennedy. And the only thing I'm really looking forward to is Clone Wars, but we all know that it's Disney, so they canceled the show because it was too violent or not kids like. So, or kid friendly, whatever they called it. So right now, the MCU is more relevant and bigger than Star Wars, I would say. I would be really surprised if Episode 9 gets more than $900 million worldwide after what they when they spent 2 movies insulting us, insulting our intelligence and our fandom. So that's just my 2 cents. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.